How you doing, everybody? It's Saturday the 13th of February 2010, and it's just after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And what I would like to do is I don't know when I'm not going to have enough time to do this, because it is straightforward, but you just got to draw it out a wee bit. I want to continue on. Just draw a little bit about that last post that I made about Brendan Keenan, and then I want to deal with something that somebody has raised in one of the comments, because I think it's very important. Well, two people actually hinted at it in the comments, and I think they're very, very important. The first thing is the Brendan Keenan thing from the last posting about the amount of money that we owe the German banks. You know, thank God for the independent media. You could never find that out from state media here. I imagine, I've been looking for that information for years. You can't. If you ask bankers, they're not going to tell you that. Well, first of all, only a small number would know it, would actually know it, would actually have it. And you can't read it in their accounts. They don't tell you that in their accounts. So, all part of Brendan Keenan. I mean, I'm critical of him at time, but all part of him for giving us that information. At least it clarifies a lot of things. I'll give you an example, just a small thing. We had a vote on the first Lisbon Treaty, and it was overwhelmingly defeated that we should, sign our sovereignty over to Europe. And what happened was, I never saw a response like it in my life from this Fianna Fáil shit that run our country here. These so-called politicians, these incompetents that run our country. I've never seen anything like it. It was like somebody had tried to rape their daughters. They went manic. They went insane. And so did the Europeans, but I couldn't work it out. I said, what's going on here? There's something wrong here. This isn't a normal response. I mean, our next door neighbour, who's Britain, they're not part of the European currency. They have their own fiscal and monetary policy. They can throw that up at any time. They can print more money if they like. They're in control of their own. And I know we have the euro from whatever it's 2001 or 2000. I know all about that. I'm not talking about that. Saying, we just didn't ratify this treaty, and everybody's going ballistic here. What the hell is going on? I understand now. You've got German banks that are owed 200 billion, a fifth of a trillion euros, by a tiny little country, and the little country's giving you the two fingers. No, that can't be tolerated. No, I can't have that. Because they may do something stupid. You wouldn't know what that little country could do next. So that's it explains at least that, and lots more, but I don't particularly want to go on about it, because one of the people who responded and posted up comments, and I sort of put it up to me, and it's a question that lots of people have asked me in the past. The Celtic Maverick, his name is. He asked me, where did the money go? Where's all the money gone? We'd all this money all slushing around the time of a boom. Where did it all go? So what you have to do is then you have to go back to basics. Now, this is my basics. So just, as I say, I'm not here as a guru. I'm not trying to lecture. I'm just trying to give my opinion for what it's worth. Okay? The way it is in my world, the way I view life is, we live in a capitalist society and a Western Democratic Republic. But that's only an aside. The economic order is capitalism, and the way that is laid down, if you could draw it as a shape, the shape of the capitalist order is a triangle. Now, I've heard other gurus talking to me about circles and egg shapes, and they fucking dreaming. These people dreaming. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things, fairly fundamental things here, and if any of this is up the left, get on to me. Get on to me. Let's hear the comments, okay? The way society is very, very simple. Society's shaped like that, economically, it's shaped like that. And at the top, you have an elite. Okay, I'm going to go into that in a moment or two, but I'm laying out the shape of the triangle and what the triangle consists of. Consists of an elite at the top, and underneath them are the functionaries that service that elite. They're like, within a country, the army, the civil service, all that whole business. You know where I'm coming from, all right? So really, they're an elite they're functionaries for the government, but the government and the elite are very much in bed together, but they're not quite. The elite tell the government what to do. because this is soft fascism we're talking about in most Western countries. The corporates have taken over the state, essentially. But anyway, that's it. I don't want to go on about that, because that's the political overlay, right? Within the economic overlay, it's an elite, then functionaries, then a middle class, which consists of about a third of society. Yeah, about 25%, 30% of society. And then down below that, the working class, which consists of about 50% of society. And then the two other classes down below that are the lumpen proletariat, i.e. the people who don't work and don't want to work and want to contribute nothing to society. And then down below them you have the unfortunates, who are the dysfunctional classes. Alright, so I don't want to go into them. You can imagine what I'm talking about, okay? So you have a little group at the bottom who either through no fault of their own, or through a fault of their own, whatever way you want to put it, probably through no fault of their own, in a large percentage, don't contribute directly in a financial sense to society. The rest do. Working class, middle class, functionaries, and then the elite. Okay. Now, the way it works is this in a capitalist society. You have the ordinary person who, say, forms the middle classes, the working classes, and the functionary classes. They produce wealth in two ways. They produce wealth through their own labour. They get on the treadmill in the morning and they go out and they actually physically work. Alright? And they work for individuals, they work for corporations, they work for whatever. Right? But they produce wealth, either physically or from service energy, mentally. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They produce wealth. Alright? That's the first way. Now, that was always the way, even in most basic capitalist societies, up until about 50 years ago. And then what happened was, this elite up at the top of the economic order, they decided they weren't happy with that. And there was another way that you could do this thing. And they used the media then for it. And the way they did that was, they put out the notion that we lived in a classless society. So, this notion was absorbed by the populace at large. And they told them, this is what happened. They had a James Bond type guy on with a young one on his arm. Alright? And they told the blokes and the women out there, you can be like him, you can be like her. There's a bit of plastic. Go out and buy the Armani handbag. Or go out and buy the Armani suit. Or go out and buy a sports car. And we only charge you 20-25% per annum for it. Bank of America job. You know where I'm coming from. Alright. So that was the new way. So what happened, how we had wealth created through labour, and then wealth created through debt. Completely different thing altogether. This is only arrived in the last 50 years. This was never the way before. Now it was, I know, but not for the ordinary common man. Not on the scale that we have it today. And not this constant propagandizing coming out of this media. This is the way it is. This is what you should be doing. No, there's no class in society. That's all an illusion. That's put out by the communists and the lefties and all those arseholes. Alright? There really is no class in society. Anyway, what happened was the vacuum cleaner was turned up at the top. You know the vacuum cleaner at the top of society? It sucks all the money up. By the way, just in case anybody's under any illusion, the money does not go down. The money does not percolate down. As soon as it percolates down and everybody's fed and everybody's just about happy and Coronation Street's on and Emmerdale Farm or whatever it's called, right? And the League Division 1 or whatever it's called, the Premier League's on a Saturday and everybody's healthy. This is back to Roman stuff. Did this in fucking Rome 2,000 years ago to keep the masses happy. The money gets sucked back up again. Well, that's the story. That's the situation that we're in. The vacuum cleaner has got turned up full blast. That's where the money went. The money's not here anymore at this level. The money's been sucked back up there again, and it's there for one reason and one reason only. We work in the capitalist society on a boom and bust cycle. And when the boom is on, the people who know how it works suck the money up and have it ready for when the bus comes. Because when the bus comes, they buy in back cents on the dollar. It was that way in 1929 and it's going to be that way again now. You watch what happens.